What's up, NACL fans? Did you miss me? Have you been watching? Are you ready for a super heavyweight smackdown? This Saturday, a match so big we had to run it back as the last two remaining undefeated teams battling out for glory in the NACL. In the red corner, a team of developmental domination in the top half of the map. A duo that was bound for LCS. Sturdy and Shaden showed they could still stop the competition. Rookie Sanjay pilots the bot lane with one of the most promising young supports in Chime as his co-pilot. In the mid lane, Quad, hailing from Korea, puts his claim as one of the best damn players in the league. They promoted last Blitz MVP, and this roster is looking to the skies. FlyQuest Challengers! And in the blue corner, the Kings of the North are looking to school the competition. Returning to the top lane, Professor America's teaching us all that he's still got it. Paired with the mid-jungle duo of UG Spyrex, this top side gets an A+. And making the opposition look like an extracurricular, Psycho support Scary Jerry, the self-proclaimed best in the league. Doing double duty in both C-LOL and NACL. Maryville University! This Saturday, FlyQuest versus Maryville. Only one can remain undefeated in our super heavyweight smackdown!
Saturday. We are finally here. We have the match of the split, it feels like, and we're not even done with the split just yet. We have dawned upon Maryville University versus FlyQuest Challengers, and I am Mazel. I'm joined by Beatdown. I couldn't be more excited to be here. I know you've had a decently short day. They're giving us space to give this series all we got.
And I got to say, Lennon, I appreciate that from our previous teams early on because, man, all I've been thinking about today was this particular series. And as soon as Steve told me he was, baton passing to you, I knew we were going to have a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's an honor to get to cast this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at this upcoming match and see the series that we've had so far. Wildcard coming away with a clean 2-0 over Fear. And then DSG, unfortunately, falling wholeheartedly to Supernova 2-0 has primed us for this final series.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hoping that they don't go the same route no matter who wins. I want 3 games. I want to be up late. Sleeping's for nerds. It's not important.
True. I think that I stand by that. No more tie days this year. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these rosters, though. The Titans that will be taken to the Rift. Maryville University, they have taken the league by storm this year, Beatdown.
They have, and the big thing is we were always so excited about this top side, but it's Scary Jerry and Zyko who really came to play this split. We had our first meeting at the beginning of spring, and a lot of us were not excited about this bot lane, but oh my god, they turned it around. Hearing it from Scary Jerry himself talking about how they sat down together, him and Zyko, at the end of last year. They talked it out. They knew they were going to play together again, and they discussed what they needed to work on to get to where they are now.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun to see them, but we got to look at the other side as well. They might all have different jerseys, but the goal is still the same. FlyQuest Challengers have been a force to be reckoned with this split so far.
They have been. I tied at 5-0 for match score with Maryville University. Of course, one of these teams is going to lose that one today, but this is another roster to be super excited about. Shaden, I think, has been playing really well, and he's a jungle prospect we've pretty much always been excited about. I had Sajed, new 80 carry, Quad over from LCK, kind of stomping everybody he plays against.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you grab 2 people who were going to be in LCS, in Surdy and Shaden. You grab Chime, who was LCS, and you have 2 up-and-comers in Quad and Sajed. It's been working pretty well for them so far. And now that we're going to be getting into draft, this is the question that remains to be decided today. Who will be undisputed more longer, I guess, in an ACL? Because this is a big one. Everybody knows it's a single round robin. You only face each other once, blah, blah, blah. But everything has been building to this. All the players in the league have been talking about this. And now we get down to brass tacks. We got the Senna banned away by Maryville on the blue side, first and foremost. The Azir by FlyQuest Challengers on that red side.
Yeah, and already we're seeing kind of a lot of the same bans so far. Remember, guys, we're on that new patch 14.4. There are a couple new things that have kind of popped up. The mini rework for Rek'Sai, for example, the Jace buffs, the Maokai nerfs, and kind of as a result of the Maokai nerfs, he's just dropped off the face of the earth, and they were pretty impactful, so I don't expect to see him.
So I was talking with Sturdy beforehand. The guy's always confident. Always.
Through that.
I was asking him, are you going to be a trendsetter in the TF? And then we saw Quacker take it earlier. That was after I asked that question. So I amended it, and he was like, "Oh, everybody's just copying us because we play it in our scrims, and I dominate everybody. I'm the best TF in the West," is what he said. So rightfully so, Maryville, they're gonna ban that one away. We do get that Ashe locked in though, something that we typically have seen banned away, but has been getting let through a little bit more often now.
Yeah, I think in prioritization of other banaways, which I understand, we saw the hover for the Karma. I'm really interested to see if that one is coming through. It was nerfed a little bit on the last patch, but I mean, still very strong pick overall, even if something like Varus is off the table. It's fine mid lane, it's fine support, and you pair it with a brawler like Vi, it does feel kind of good.
I love the skirmishing potential that you can have there, but it looks like FlyQuest Challenge is going to go a little bit of a different route. Still a lot of mobility out of mid lane, though, for Spyrax.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, that Talia Vi is a really strong combination.
Against Spyrax.
Yeah, it's a really strong combination there for FlyQuest. I'm interested if we see the jungle come through for MU. It could be Hui that answer into the mid lane. I don't think we'll see it support this game paired up with Ashe. But there's a lot of options here. There's still jungle to be picked up as well. And all the premier junglers are up and available. Could see a Xin Zhao. But Yuji, he's got a lot in his bag of tricks.
He does, and I think that's where like the primary focus of this jungle matchup is so interesting to me. Yuji, he's been vying for himself. He's been on social media saying, "I've been a part of the MVP conversation every single year I've been in, or every split I've been in the league. Please let me get it this year." He's been showing up and showing out. On the other side, Shaden, one of the up-and-comers who was looking at LCS this last year but didn't make it. Now we get that skirmish-heavy matchup between the two with Xin Zhao locked in for Yuji.
Right, so that's going to be a pretty exciting one. Already, I want to see a little more CC. Rather, not CC, but more engage. I don't want to see the Xin Zhao going by himself in this composition, especially if you don't have a Karma to pair it with. But we'll see how Maryville want to round this one out. And Nautilus, it's just perfect with everything that's happening so far in FlyQuest draft. You want engage. You want someone to go with Vi. And even though Supernova did win that game, that was a concern with one of the drafts I had earlier on today.
Yeah. I do really respect the amount of CC that FlyQuest Challengers have right now. I'm going to expect the trend to continue there. We do get the Draven ban there, a very menacing duo, it feels like, with the Draven and the Ashe. But I expect maybe some of those bans to be a little bit prioritized to some of the comfort picks in the second phase. We do get that Rumble banned away as well from Maryville.
And I like that respect to Scary Jerry. Again, a player who most of us didn't have high hopes for, considering performances last year, now is topping the charts in just about every laning stat. I know, Lennon, you were a big believer, and I got to give you your due, man. You were right. I'm very comfortable admitting it. It was, you were right. Scary Jerry ends up impressing. The Draven is one of the biggest things as well. I mean, there are other lane dominant picks he could easily go for to help round out this draft.
I do, I wonder if we just, because we were talking about jungle, but these two bot lanes are pretty confident in their own rights. And I think that, in a game one, testing some of the metal and seeing what happens down there could be really intense and really interesting. That Kai'Sa ban obviously taking away something that has been rising in priority now as well. The Braum ban, really nice. Obviously, a lot of the Freljordian synergy going down there as well. My favorite, the Jhin, gets locked in as the 4th pick. So, I don't know. It might just be fate.
You partially deny that Jhin Ashe combo, but every time I see Jhin, my immediate question is like, all right, guys, where's the damage? Well, what happened? Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping top side, especially because you have good engage and support jungle, is a more damage-oriented pick. We already saw Surdy's Rumble banned away, but there are other carry options as well. Maybe this is a game we see an Olaf, something along those lines.
I mean, hey, save it for one of the best top laners in North America. I feel like it's Surdy. Go ahead and give him the counter pick. Let's see what he's cooking up today as well. Niles on the other side, no slouch. Captain America, they call him. See if he can hold the line against a ravenous Surdy here this year. And I do wonder if there is going to be any of that spice. Obviously, the TF has already been taken off the table, but the Cassante coming in gives a lot of options to Surdy for some of the counterplay.
So this could be an interesting lock-in there at the very end. More engaged. Not the damage I'm hoping for, but it would be a pretty good matchup into the Cassante, both in and out of lane. And it's looking like that is where they want to end up locking it down. So right away, you have a pretty good front to back from FlyQuest side. You have a comp that is really strong in that mid game, especially with this Vi Talia really unlocking at level 6. But I think later on, if you're not even or ahead, you are going to get out damaged, and the long range engage from the Enchanted Crystal Arrow from MU, I think is going to really come in handy to set up that damage later on.
Yeah, I think obviously a couple background things going on right now as well. Yuji and Spyrax against the organization it felt like they had carved a home out of in NACL against their former coach as well, things like that. But also just a lot of the pride of these players and things going down to this one. I know coming into it, Maryville feel like the friendship that they formed over this year is a huge benefiting factor to how they've been succeeding, how they've been performing. They're going to need it against FlyQuest Challengers, who just seem to have the hands diff on everybody in the league. And that's why I love the combination of this. And that's why this matchup, not only is it undefeated teams going against each other, but the background stories going into it are all so exciting. And we'll be kicking off the game very shortly. And I think big focus is early on what is going to happen between Yuji and Shaden. But how early are we going to get that action in bot lane for real? We are getting a game number 1 now, so get your hands together, get up in your seats, because Maryville University versus FlyQuest Challengers kicks off now.
Hey, you better grab your popcorn, because even the first minute or two might be slow, but this game is going to be action-packed. You talk about the early game between the junglers. I think that's a great point, Lennon, and I just want to add on to that as well. Mid lane is something I've also been keeping my eyes on. Spyrax, honestly, one of the better mids that we've seen in the last couple of years in North America versus Quad. I had so much LCK experience. You ask some players in the league when we were doing our next round of player surveys, say he's the best player in NACL right now. And he's been dumpstering mids in the process. He's been a big part of why FlyQuest get these early game leads, because of advantages he's able to create. So that's why I'm going to be watching there too, to see if Spyrax is going to be able to actually deal with that kind of pressure.
We're getting a little level 1 action here. Chime going for the blind hook and connects onto Zyko. Gonna have to burn that flash early and the barrier. Some damage put back on the Chime there. The heal gonna be burned on the back end. So 3 summoner spells for 1.
Yeah, I don't think I have to do the math to tell you guys that that one was super worth on the side of FlyQuest Challengers. Chime is gonna be a little late. Might end up missing a good bit of experience off that first wave, but other than that, I mean, you have an option there for Shaden in these next couple of minutes to gank that bottom lane.
I really like this call out as well. Maybe it's just me or maybe it's just Jen. The boots start here against the Ashe, trying to go for those Swifties as quickly as possible, because you know that you have no exit once that approach velocity starts kicking in.
100%. I really like that. And you guys saw it in the bottom of that screen there. Go ahead and vote in chat who you think is going to win, FlyC or MU. Right now, Chime has showed up in the bottom lane. Remember, he is down a bit of XP, so it is going to be a late level 2. By Prio, probably going to go Scary Jerry and Zyko's way anyway, just because of that double range bot.
Ooh, go right back in as they hit level 2.
Mind.
Zyko's in some trouble.
Oh,
goodbye. And there it is. First blood for Sajed.
I will say, me saying that Scary Jerry and Zyko would get Prio, that was really hinging on not walking into Chime's hook. But you know, that is a big deal there. You said Swifties was important for Jin, especially this game into Ashe. Well, how does 400 gold sound getting towards that?
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
We
Making
like that,
it
right?
partly the way there, I'd say.
Yeah.
And also giving a little bit of priority towards this bot lane with the Nautilus against the double marksman comp bottom side is very nice. The push will still be there, though, and that's where we turn our attention back to the jungle pathing, and you see the mirrored side starting to come to fruition here.
And information as well going over there from the hawk shot from Zyko. So they know that Shaden is going to be on that top side. Niles probably doesn't have too much to worry about in way of a dive. I think the next minute or so is going to be rather quiet, and it's just going to be a trade of scuttle crabs. And honestly, I just want to take the time to talk about... Never mind. Not allowed.
Scary Jerry and Zyko play a little bit far forward there. You have Yuji on the back end, so do have some safety in that regard. As you were saying, Pete Down.
I think that a stat that I found interesting that I just told you before going live is that both of these teams are the top two when it comes to gold leads at 15. But Maryville, they're number one, and it's at 2,200 gold. That is the average team gold diff at 15 minutes. FlyQuest, who's in second place, only has 800, by the way.
That's a big difference. And I think that's why we see the likes of Maryville leading a lot of the stats in the league. Scary Jerry down there feeling really nice with a over 12 KDA in the league. Feeling real nice. And no too shabby on the other side. Quad has the most kills in the league if we're throwing around little stats.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Another good one.
Ooh, he's playing with the Vision. Oh.
He was playing with the Vision. Yeah. He's just waiting for the spawn, I suppose. I think that first blood that we saw earlier for Sajed, a bit of an outlier. I don't think that was actually supposed to really go down there. So it's just going to be about what this first dragon is going to look like. Usually favors double range bots, but Chime, he's got these magnetic hooks going on. Maybe FlyQuest like their chances at Drake number one.
Oh, Shaden's been playing in the bush there. Scary Jerry thought about going that way. He's like, maybe I shouldn't. Not going to end up going.
Bit of an illegal maneuver there. And things are just going to be nice and slow in this early game. I was kind of expecting a lot more blood, especially given the leads Maryville are able to generate. But really all of it is on Yuji right now because he's really the only one with CC in his kit before Zyko hits level 6. And I think he's pretty comfortable just farming things out the first few minutes.
He's actually going to play a little bit aggressive here. Level 5 for both junglers. He will spot out Shaden. Love the vision toggle from our observers. Going to hover bot side for Shaden. Yuji's going to match him. They're going to collapse onto him as well. Beautiful use of the vision by Maryville University. Wow. They will force Shaden away. They're going to go for the dragon now.
And that's really well done there from Yuji. Like you said, they earn the Drake, and they use that vision to basically get a play onto Shaden and force him away from this side of the map. It was a bit of a 50-50 based on how that play ended up going out. So nice of Maryville to be able to get started on Drake stacking.
Really good idea of how to collapse there. And I think that's something we've seen from Maryville representing their play, but also are hearing from behind the scenes. It's just a lot of the communication, the openness that come from having good friendships across the team helps a lot because they can all be on the same page for direction, and you see it in their play.
I like this play from Yuji. Wants to be on this side. Quad is forced away without TP, so he feels confident enough to just force Shaden out of here and get the remaining grubs for himself. And I will say Spyrax, he's doing a pretty good job in lane so far. He's actually 10 CS ahead of Quad. You do outrange the Talia. You do have an easier chance at landing your spells as the way, but still pretty big deal in my eyes considering Quad in general is usually just Astro Stomping every mid laner he plays against.
Yeah, being able to hold the line a little bit, but that's where now we're getting the level 6 mark. Quad having had it for a little bit longer, but Shaden gonna have it soon. That combo becomes even more important to set up this mid game, as you had said in the draft.
And for the moment, you can see Shaden is one camp away from doing so, basically pinging the red buff, signaling that he's going to go ahead and get that. And once that happens, I kind of just want to follow him on the camera, see what that first cease and desist is going to look like. Thank you, Brother Kai. Just right as I say it, we're going to watch it. Let's see what happens. Look at him take that blue buff. Majestic.
Hey, you need to. You got to be able to take it. And I think now that we've seen a little bit of mind games being played through the jungle, obviously Yuji sneaking up there for the grubby. I do wonder, though, if we get an increase in the tempo of these focuses around objectives now that in about 3 minutes we'll have another dragon. Shaden has this level 6 mark. I'm feeling a little bit more confident for FlyQuest.
Oh?
Throwing some rocks.
He missed
they
the
end up
fear.
hurting. As a lot of rocks going his way. I know Avatar came out recently, so maybe
please
some
don't.
earthbending there. Oh my god, no! Yuji, he's gonna pop that
nice
guard, but he is almost going down. Beautiful flash out, though, is gonna get him the distance.
Wow.
And the Spiraling Despair gets the kill back.
And the isolation damage ended up being super. Hello?
Chime with the heads up play. My goodness, he might just die now, though. The fear is there, and Spyrax getting 2 kills. Quad's just sitting there with some question marks going off in his head.
Yeah, I mean, was that worth it, Chime? We'll never know. Some of us will. But ultimately, it was a nice play. You do get Yuji's flash out, which is something that if you make another play like that in a minute, you could capitalize on it. I really like the way this one was played out, especially from Shaden. Was waiting for the Crescent Guard to come out, trying to predict it, and using the Unstoppable from the ultimate to make sure he stays within the circle and is able to damage it. It just didn't really pan out the way he hoped.
That Spiraling Despair slow is a real nasty one there. And Chime just taking an extra tower shot there, and then the Fear lasting so long.
Yep.
Really nice play from Spyrax. And it's impressive when you get to see Hui played by really mechanically minded mid laners, and Spyrax is already impressing so far.
Yeah, and for a champion like Hui too, where you can go even and it's fine, but I think I really like when this champion is actually ahead. So being a 2-0, definitely a good look for him.
They went bot lane. Okay, so there's multi-fights going on. Chime is getting shot, but he's going to go through the, at least, curtain call. He's going to do some work, but Quad's trying to run to his teammates here, and I think both teams realized there was not much more fighting that could happen there.
Wow, these teams are just trading blows. Pretty much nonstop now since, rather for that last couple of minutes here. So Quad, I like that he's been using these opportunities to move without using the Weaver's Wall, because when he has to back in kind of unfortunate situations, he's just able to ult back the lane. But I don't think is he actually going to do it? He's dropping a big wave by not doing so.
Yeah. We do see Yuji getting in there, using a little bit of that tempo, steals away a Raptor camp here, gets another camp there, finds a CS lead now in the jungle over Shaden. And on this, Xin Zhao's going to have a lot of utility in the fights as well. Both junglers going to be integral as we start getting to it. We have a dragon spawning on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, because my eyes are now on Zyko, who's ticked over to level 6. You have that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Something we highlighted in Champ Select was the range you can play from when you throw that ultimate out and it ends up hitting somebody. So you got to imagine, because of the poke and the ultimate I was just mentioning, you're going to have an easy time as MU getting that first look in terms of vision. You're already seeing it happen right now. They try to clear out whatever vision Chime sets down, and this should just be an easy trade.
All right, they do have that pressure there. They end up grabbing that early here. Scary Jerry not going to get engaged on. Shaden's around the corner. Could put up a little fight. Weaver's Wall coming across. Here comes the Vault Breaker 2 to get him in the pit. Oh, though it goes down to Maryville. Now afterwards, that Spiraling Despair locks down Quad, and he can't do anything. That's an immediate trade to Maryville and Niles. Captain America has showed up to go ahead and knock down a second one. Chime trying to Spider-Man his way out of this. I didn't know we had Marvel going on here as Maryville is taking him out. They're under tower right now. Somebody call the Avengers. Oh my God, Shaden showed up. Psycho's on the wrong side of town here, and he'll get taken out of the backside of it. But Maryville, they are going ham.
And they're really starting to take control in this early game. They just picked up so much gold. They've got their second Drake. And this is also kind of the payoff of them being able to force Shaden away from the first one. Because even though Quad comes out with the Weaver's Wall, Yuji feels confident enough about his damage. Zyko can shoot that Ash Arrow from anywhere. Means it's just so easy to set up all that CC onto Quad and then just continue running down the members of FlyQuest.
When I was talking to Zyko, one of the biggest things he said he's grown in this year is being adamant in his decision-making, knowing that he can be correct. He doesn't always have to ask questions, maybe asking himself how he got here, but the engage is what we're talking about.
Nobody's perfect. You know, I do like that growth from him as a player, that confidence, and it really shows in how him and Scary Jerry have been playing so far this year and why you see Maryville at 5-0. Oh.
Niles going for the all-out onto Surdy. Surdy's about to get Meganar. He's trying to get the difference here, but on his way is Yuji as well. Surdy playing a little bit confident. Niles going to ward down. Yuji's going to come back up. Meganar is going to start falling, and Surdy might have taken the bait here. He does back off in the end. Still Yuji hunting and waiting.
And there's probably no play. I think Surdy is certainly paying his respects, understands his ult, Meganar is about to expire.
It's pretty much his ult. You have to have it to ult, you know.
That's true. In a way, yeah. Rest of the game, slowing down just a little bit here. We would take a look at items, take stock of what's being built so far. A lot of people are hitting that first item. We're yet to see that Talia Vi combo come through from Shaden and Quad, but you got to imagine Quad getting close to picking up what's probably the Archangel staff, is also going to be in a pretty good spot to be able to make some kind of play happen.
That is first turret. Gotten all 5 plates to Surdy, really using those demolish stacks well.
Yeah.
And getting a huge advantage, at least to turn that advantage back in the favor of FlyQuest Challengers. Also want to point out some of those first items. Sundered Sky has been the typical, I feel like, for a lot of our skirmishing heavy junglers. Titanic Hydra is going to be the call for Yuji.
Yeah, I mean, Titanic's so good on Xin Zhao, and it already means that Yuji's in a really strong position at the moment here. It's something, I said this in Champ Select as well, my concern with FlyQuest is still damage at this point. And right now, even though they have a small lead to play with, they don't have very much early game success to speak of. First 2 Drakes don't go their way. MU have played it out pretty well. When it comes to kills, I mean, MU has still led there. The only reason, honestly, that FlyQuest have a minor lead is because Surdy got all 5 plates in first break.
As soon as Surdy used that jump, he put himself in a little bit of trouble, but that Magnar bar stacking up real quick. Also, another big key is both junglers been really respectful to each other so far. We're not going to get too much respect thrown to Scary Jerry down here, as they're going to come full force and give him a little bit of payback to what they gave over as FlyQuest Challengers take him down. Surdy gets the kill.
He does have to flash, but it's still going to be a successful dive, taking Jerry off the map for a little bit of time. It's not going to mean that Maryville lose all control over the bot side. It's just a bit of farm going out of the picture. Quad?
Quad just gets the receiving end of the 3 Talon strike. Is trying to get out of there, but Spyrex has now roamed. They're going to have another one coming up. Crescent Guard could be utilized. Chai might have just thrown away his life for it. The flash over, spiraling.
Oh, he's gone.
And there it is. Spyrex goes on a rampage.
Hey, Maryville, even with Scary Jerry getting dove like that, they still had a chance at Dragon. Now it's all but guaranteed. As whatever space you've been able to get as FlyQuest is pretty much gone. Quad, he's looking for something, but he's not really going to find
He's fishing. He's got his fisherman hat on. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Why doesn't Talia have a fishing setup?
Like, you mean a skin?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Quad. The burn.
Quad.
The burn.
The scorch?
It's
Scorch?
not enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, Zyko wants it so bad. He tried to get it. He has the ulti. Psycho! He's a little bit psycho, but you love it.
That's petty. I like it. As long as he gets away, it's worth it.
I don't know if he's getting away.
Oh,
Shaden's
good roots.
got a little bit. Spyrex with that fear, and the hook goes wide. You got to get another chain link on that anchor there, Chime, and you get out with a steal.
And it's a big deal. Quad has teleport, but as long as you get onto this Drake right now, that kill that Zyko got ends up being massively worth it, even for his flash, even for his ult. So it's Maryville continuously finding dubs in this early game, and a lot of it is Spyrex having a really standout performance on this play. He is landing pretty much all his spells. Good use of the CC from his E as well to save Zyko earlier, and Maryville in a good spot.
I have always been super biased towards Spyrex. I will not be shamed for it. This guy is an incredible human being, but he's also damn good at a video game that I love. And seeing him go over to Maryville, combine 2 of my favorite things, was really nice, and he's doing well. Quad not doing so well as Yuji takes him down. Speaking of another piece for Maryville that's looking really good, these 2 together, the former FlyQuest duo who ran Rampage over the league last year at Maryville, making it look so damn good.
And something Scary Jerry said when I talked to him last week is how much he's enjoyed playing with this mid-jungle duo of Yuji and Spyrex. He specifically said that something he likes about them is the kind of draft diversity they offer. A lot of players at this level, yeah, they can play a lot of champs, but Yuji and Spyrex play them proficiently. And he said it's been a big part on why Maryville have been able to draft so well so far this split. And despite Scary Jerry's and Zyko's improvements, you still give a lot of credit over to Yuji and Spyrex for this 5-0 we're seeing.
Yeah, helps to have leads from jungle mid to get some priority bot lane, I'd say.
Yeah.
But this team, again, has turned into a bit of a super team here in NACL, and I'm here for it all day long. The question is, can FlyQuest stand the test here? Because 2,000 gold in the lead, Yuji has had complete control over objectives. They're already on Soul Point. The Grubbies didn't even really get taken after Yuji got that first one there, and FlyQuest fall a little bit behind, as now they're trying to get back out on the map. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes a little wide, so does the Fear.
That's okay. I like that we're fishing. Now Ash also should have a fishing hat, now that you mention it, Lennon.
Ah, true.
You know,
I don't think that works. You can't just, like, throw a fishing pole. With the Talia thing,
what
right?
about
like
spear
the
fishing?
I guess. That's not...
Yeah.
I guess.
Arrow's kind of
Wailing.
a spear.
No, I don't think... I think the fact of the matter is the way that you engage with these kind of competitions is so detrimental to how FlyQuest Challengers want to play, because they're trying to get a lot of setup around a lot of these things, and the fact that you have such length of engage from Maryville, they see one person, they just pounce on them immediately. And I think being able to see the way that they utilize that with some of the friendship we talked about has been really nice. Now, a little bit of a squad of friendship coming down onto Maryville, and Niles using his Cassante moves out of there. Does have a little bit of knockback from that seismic shove, but still is Cassante.
I'm sorry, yeah.
What were you saying
fine.
earlier to Kangas? You were teaching about Olaf. We're still back at Cassante.
Olaf,
all the tops.
Udyr. Yeah, every time you think you can, it definitely applies to Udyr most, but every time you think you got to kill, you don't. I'm sorry.
Wait, Surdy's got a little catch out. That was a nice deadly flourish there. He's got a lot of damage, and here comes Quad. That is a big pressing guard, but it's not going to be enough. A shutdown goes to Shade in there, and I really like this move from FlyQuest. They're going to use this Riptail, finally getting some neutral objective focus.
Yeah, and it's a really good angle because they should be able to at least get some damage on this tier 1. I don't think it's going to actually... Is it going to go down? Not quite, but they should have a pretty easy time to make it happen. What matters is the TP. They're just going to go ahead and start this Baron. I mean, Yuji's dead for another 10 seconds. Remember, Zyko has the arrow. They take this kind of slowly on the side of FlyQuest.
A little bit. Niles feeling pretty confident to step up here. Some long distance damage coming in from Maryville. They're going to move in. Quad has a good angle here. He's on Scary Jerry. Scary Jerry's just going ham onto him. Niles going to all out Shaden out of the pit, but they're back in, and Shaden gets it.
Look at
Beautiful
the damage.
use of the blast cone, but can they get away? Niles looking him down and taking him down. Surdy chasing as now Scary Jerry shows back up, and the attack the arrow continues. The dominoes are falling, and it's all red as Maryville come away, and you only get that Baron buff on a couple.
And that's brutal. FlyQuest go for the flip, but it ends up coming up tails because, wow, it was a really bold move to try and take the Baron like that, especially with your Baron take being as slow as it is. Yeah, they get it on some members, but it really doesn't feel worth it because you drop 2 turrets in response to that Baron that you ended up taking, and you just gave up so much more pressure on the map. Remember, Lennon, Maryville's soul, not soul point, soul is going to be coming up at around the 22-minute mark, and this Chemtech soul is actually really important in my opinion because at 50% or below health, you take less damage and you deal less damage. Against FlyQuest comp, where I've been continuously saying there is no damage, that feels really bad and makes it really hard for you to actually finish kills.
And the little parts that I love about that is knowing the timer here. That's something that Maryville we're definitely thinking of, but also some of the aggressiveness we felt, right? Scary Jerry just literally arcade shifted into Quad's face. And I think you see those kinds of moments, they know the play is now. They're going to push FlyQuest Challengers out of this mid lane and start the Dragon. Ooh, TP.
Oh, he's close to Mega.
It's going to be in time, though. It's about half health now. Shaden's coming down. Weaver's Wall's there. Spyrax's going to get split from the rest of the team. Now Surdy on the back end. Maryville just need this Dragon. They got to get it and get out. FlyQuest in. Shaden didn't get it. He blasts away, though. Spiraling Despair hits Shaden, and so does it hit FlyQuest. He's going back in. Sees an assist. He's getting CC down. Oh, my God. Zyko gets the kill. Surdy's trying to make it play. He gets the Meganar ulti, but the all-outed Captain America on the other side is single-handedly cutting apart the competition. Sanjet's just a poor Jin in a poor Jin world, and Niles and Spyrax combine. Maryville, that's all 5 alive. Chime, the only defender for FlyQuest.
And a Chemtech Soul earned for Maryville University. They're going to be able to just continue this lead that they've got. It's up to 5,000. The mid-tier 2 is going to go down. And given how quickly we've seen Maryville end games, they have the lowest average game time in the NACL. One more fight like that, Lennon, and we're going to find ourselves in game 2.
Maryville University using that power of friendship Zyko mentioned so much to come away heads in a situation where heads is the winning matter. They have combined so well, and their direction is clear. They are making plays very distinctly.
Right, and taking a look at this play again, you kind of called out Surdy. Is he actually going to make it to this play in time? And the question is really no. There wasn't a way for him to stack up the Mega. The Dragon is already gone, and Yuji is keeping him away from the rest of his team. So by the time Surdy I mean, ults in here, the fight has been over.
Unfortunately, though, Shaden was the one that kind of went overboard there. His whole team wasn't able to join him in the end. But it's the thing that Maryville had so strongly is they knew they needed the Dragon. They played around that. Niles went and played a defensive measure, and it works out for their composition. And see if FlyQuest can regain some control here. 6,000 gold down.
Yeah, I was going to say, chances are pretty low at this point. Again, I think the Chemtech Soul is going to be doing a lot of work here. The damage reduction at below half health, I think, is really a thorn in FlyQuest's side on top of the insane gold lead coming through. I mean, you have Zhonya's finish for Spyrax as well, so he can afford to step up a little further and buy himself that extra space and time for his team with the stasis.
Niles waiting in the wings here. See if he can catch somebody out. Is going to complete that back, and as we have a timer now on the board, Surdy is going to walk right past the backing Niles.
It's just going to be a pretty easy recall, seeing if they could get a squishy member out of position and he can go, do some Cassante things. But now it's top side, where MU have their focus. I mean, the one bright side for FlyQuest is that it's actually a Chemtech Rift. So something, even since it first came out and the Soul did something different, I found that it's actually harder to maintain aggressive vision because of the empowered scrying orbs on this Rift. So that does kind of benefit you a little bit if you are the team that is getting dunked on, I believe is the official term. But even then, Maryville have managed to maintain some vision presence.
We'll say there's some big differences coming out for Maryville now. We do have like a 40-50 CS lead for Yuji, who has been a star so far, but Spyrax himself feeling real confident, about 30-40 ahead of Quad. And I think the biggest difference has been the top side of the map. Bot lane really didn't get a lot of that early focus. We had that kill going over, it quieted down, but Maryville took full advantage of the top side of the map this entire time. Speaking of taking advantage, almost take out Quad under his turret.
Quad is having a tough time. That's through the Seraph shield, by the way. Had he not had that, he would have certainly died. And it feels like we're just waiting for the axe to fall on FlyQuest. This game has just been so clean and so nice from Maryville University. I had a bit of a question going into this series because, we thought FlyQuest were really good, we thought Maryville were really good, and I mean, both of these teams still are, but that question for me was, all right, who's going to actually get the win out today?
We got a little fighting going on. Shaden's getting Spiraling Despair there. Going to get sniped as well by Spyrax. Good combos. Yuji in a little bit of trouble now. Does get seismic shove backwards. We had the 1v1 bot side. True shot barrage. Is it enough?
Oh!
No. Does do a decent amount of damage there, though. But they're going to turn right back onto the Baron because of the way the fight happened in bot side. Now both top laners back and TP.
This is the last chance for FlyQuest. Surdy's ult Surdy's Mega just expired too. There's no way this is gonna
has no
work.
health. He's got a last grasp effort. Can he get in the pit and get it?
Oh my god!
Shaden makes the difference, and he steals away the Baron.
Oh, hold on.
This little exit.
All right.
We got Baron buff by FlyQuest. I'm not getting excited from you, beat down.
Sorry, I was just holding my breath for the curtain call. But that was an insanely clutch steal coming through from Shaden. Even more clutch that at that low HP, he manages to walk away. And I mean, we have to see this one again. I was sharing your anxiety, Lennon. But he goes in.
Wow.
Immediately gets the smite and is just able to flash away. And the rest of the team, it was a really good ult from Chime to make space there with that depth charge. And FlyQuest have effectively cut the lead that Maryville had in half, and now this Baron will actually give them the fast track to Elder in 30 seconds. If FlyQuest were going to come back, it's going to be at this next dragon.
That was a precipice, and they just staved themselves off the edge for a little bit longer. Maryville University feeling the hurt, but now Quad on an angle here. They're looking for a fight. Surdy's getting Meganar. Here comes Weaver's Wall to block off their exit. They do not have the damage right now, though, and you pointed out so much. Quad not being able to connect means FlyQuest doesn't have much in Maryville. They're in prime position for the Elder Dragon.
It's going to be tough to start it. look at Shaden, his ultimate, and Surtees when he goes Mega
Whoa.
are what to watch for.
Shaden just goes over the wall. He loses half his health bar here, but here comes Surdy. Big Mega
Oh, he's in
ulti.
there.
They're trying to get Zyko. They can't get him. Yuji's going backwards now. Surdy's trying to get on the other side. Double flip back.
That's
and it's
one.
actually Niles who falls. Now
It's
FlyQuest
happening.
are taking out Scary Jerry, and it's happening. Beat down. Quad goes in, and Quad gets the seismic shove. A triple kill for the Jin.
You gotta be goddamn kidding me. FlyQuest getting dunked on for the last 28 minutes. But one Baron steal and one good team fight has suddenly not only got them back in the driver's seat, they also have the Elder Dragon, best buff in the game, by the way. And in these next couple of minutes, FlyQuest have the opportunity to end a game that, if you had asked me 5 minutes ago, one they would have never won.
All I gotta say is, are you not entertained? A 4,000 gold lead flipped on its head. 3,000 now in the lead for FlyQuest Challengers off of some mechanical and heads-up plays. Doesn't matter if Quad is 0-5. It matters how they execute these team fights. And we said it from the beginning. Their CC, their chains are so lethal, and you have a lot of squishy members on Maryville.
Yeah, and I really want to impart the gravity of the gold swing. Remember, just a couple of minutes, maybe 2 minutes ago, MU were up 6K, and now FlyQuest are up 2,500. It is 8,500 gold. Suddenly changed hands in these next couple of minutes, and you can see it reflect now here. The bounties are on the side of FlyQuest Challengers. You can see the leads individually, lane by lane, with the exception of the mid jungle of FlyQuest. But it doesn't matter. Shaden and Quad, they have their purpose. And they still have the Elder Dragon for about another minute. So this is their opportunity to make something happen. And Maryville, they're respecting it. They're, one, moving as a 5-stack. Two, they're not even moving far past the first entrance to their jungle, which is why.
They're going to get a little bit of damage here, though. But the craziest part is we expected a match like this. Something with swing, something with craziness. And now FlyQuest trying to take advantage of that craziness with that Elder Dragon. Yuji's pressing guard gets so much work there. Enchanted Crystal Arrow used to block out Sajed's ulti, but Yuji is in a lot of trouble now. He has no saving grace. He goes right back in. Chime is in there like swimwear, but he can't. He goes down. It's a trade so far, but that Elder Dragon is starting to do some work. As the Maryville do back away, it should be an inhib going down to FlyQuest.
And unless, okay, Shaden does have ult. There is still an angle here, but if not, if they back away, then that's going to be pretty much the end of the Elder buff. But it's been an insane turnaround that FlyQuest have managed to achieve at this point with some really good team fighting and just really good gameplay overall here to get this Elder break. So now, the next couple of minutes, they're in a strong position because you look at Sajed, he's reached that 4th item mark. He actually feels pretty strong at this point as the Jin. And now all our sights are going to be set topside. Baron is up on the map. That's why you see Quad. He's pushing bot, and he's going to start walking towards that mid lane. They're pinging for assistance because Baron could be where this game is decided.
Could definitely be, and that being said, I was talking about a boxing match earlier, but both these teams undefeated in the NACL so far this year. That's why this matchup is so important. This is the only time we will see this matchup until playoffs. And to see this work out the way it has, I am so elated that we get a treat like this, and all these players putting everything on the line right now. And now the biggest question is, how do you break apart these team fights? We've gotten a position where it's going to be Elder Dragon, Baron fights on rotation here, Beatdown.
It is, and at this point, if you're MU, the thing you're most concerned about is getting engaged on. That's the strength of FlyQuest composition. For Surdy, Shaden, Chime, if you can keep space away from them, get your spells off, your Ash Arrow, your Ezreal poke, your Wave poke, that is pretty much your ticket to winning these team fights. So there's pressure on Niles to be able to make space and try and pressure the backline of FlyC, so they don't have the easy fight that they've been having for these last 5 to 10 minutes. FlyQuest, your hope is that you just can get on them. Plain and simple.
You heard the man. Plain and simple. Get on them. As now the Baron spawning here will be in position to get started by FlyQuest Challengers. Again, Zyko always fishing with this Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Ping's coming back. FlyQuest want to start a fight.
I think FlyQuest are probably going to play for the turn. They actually kind of take this a little quickly. See if they actually want to. Still a lot of health.
Surdy's looking for a flank. He just got Meganar. The Weaver's wall comes across now as well. You do have the angle from Surdy. Look at it. This wall is perfect for him. And now Maryville realized that they have to back away. But Yuji wants to stay in the pit. He needs to get in there. He ends up going on to Surdy, who loses Meganar. And now Maryville are in the fight. Maryville are going to secure the Baron as Yuji gets one right back. Both junglers going toe for toe. The FlyQuest Challengers are in some hurt as Niles is trying to chase down Sajed. He's not going to get him. Singled out. FlyQuest Challengers go on a rampage, but Maryville get the Baron.
That could have been the end of Maryville's game, but Yuji clutches it out, and it's his turn to go for the steal. I didn't think we'd make it to the second Elder Dragon, Lennon, but it's looking like we're going to be able to do exactly that. It will help Maryville push out this mid lane a little bit easier, especially with the supers coming towards them. And they do have this opportunity with the gold and the fast backs they got to get the setup around the Drake pit.
We're waiting on some item spikes here. We're really far ahead, it feels like, for Maryville. Really waiting on those 5th items for FlyQuest Challengers. Same for Maryville, though, but those 4th items really ringing true for them across multiple members. Chime has an angle. Chime has an angle. Chime has an angle here. Can he get it? Oh, he's not going to go for it. I thought he might get the engage there. Surdy gets Meganar. He's going in now as well. He just has to sacrifice his life. You can't get caught like this. As the Weaver's wall comes across, it doesn't matter. Maryville have already shut down the biggest top laner here. Surdy's down. It doesn't matter. Maryville going straight for the base.
If someone has to cut the mid wave now on the side of FlyQuest, I'm surprised nobody's going for it. They're just going to all go for the recall, and the Baron empowered minions, when that next wave gets here, might be MU's ticket to the end.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow is there. First Nexus Tower goes down. Yuji goes in for Quad. If Quad goes down, that's a big saving grace gone. All those. Ico's already gone too. FlyQuest Challengers, they pounce, but it's already trading back and forth as well. And they're single targeting one by one. And as they fall, so too do FlyQuest.
And that's going to be the game. They're just waiting for the next wave to come through. I mean, Spireax is certainly going to teleport when it comes in. And Maryville, they've done it. It looked like they were losing control of this game. But any second now, they're about to put game 1 to a close.
Will they end with a gold lead? I just feel like I got treated to an LPL game. The gold graph is going to go insane, and the gold lead switches over at the last second. And again, this game was nuts, but it's only game 1 of this best of 3. Maryville go up 1-0.
I mean, we were already off to such a great start for this series. Let it. 2 Baron steals came down to the second Elder Drake that nobody ended up hitting. And Maryville, who looked like they lost control, managed to finish off the game.
I think Surdy's going to be kicking himself a little bit for that last catch out there. But we're going to go a little break here, a little bit of relaxation while we get ready for our game number 2. Don't go anywhere.
Introducing the new footlong sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious footlong cookie, footlong pretzel, or footlong churro.
We're the LCS Challengers League. We're the future of the LCS.
We're Challengers League. We change our name and format every 2 years. I wonder what the next one's gonna be.
We're Challengers League. Of course we play Best of Breed and Fearless Draft.
We're Challengers League. Of course we have pauses too, but ours are fire ones.
We're Challengers League. Who should actually wins here?
We're Challengers League. We play every single weekend, even if LCS takes it off.
We're Challengers League. Our Twitch stream has a sub button.
We're Challengers League. FlyQuest, also #1 right now.
We're Challengers League, and we're taking over the Riot Games Arena.